So the Super Eagles now have a new manager, Chelle, the manager who has the most famous meme of the AFCON last time around, is the new manager of the Super Eagles. Is this a good hiring, and can he fix the problems that this broken federation has constructed? While Nigeria didn't make the final of the AFCON last year, eventually losing to Ivory Coast in the final, it was a dismal year. They lost to the likes of Benin, drew with South Africa at home, drew away to Rwanda, lost at home to Rwanda, drew away to Benin. Currently in the World Cup qualifiers Group C, they are in 5th place with 3 points, 4 points behind Rwanda, who are in 1st place. So Eric Chelle has a lot to do to fix this problem. And the FA have tried to go with Jose Peseiro, didn't really work out, even though he did make the final of the AFCON. His football was not sustainable. They tried Eguafon, didn't work out. Finidi George didn't work out, so now they're going to go in a new direction. Now, some people will say, oh my god, Eric Chelle, look at his coaching record club-wise. And I would say, yes, you look at his club record and it's not great. You know who's another manager where you look at his club record and you're like, that is dismal. That's a fraud right there, is Hervé Renard. But you will not say that about Hervé Renard, because Hervé Renard has won an AFCON with Ivory Coast, an AFCON with Zambia, qualified Morocco and Saudi Arabia to the World Cup. So, and his club record ain't great. Look at his time with Lille. It was a disaster. So, Eric Chelle, while his club record isn't the greatest, I actually really enjoyed his football that he played with Mali. Do not take into account that Mali lost to Ivory Coast in the quarterfinal of the AFCON. Mali are forever underachievers. That's why they are the LA Clippers of African football. But Eric Chelle galvanized Mali, played some very good football, whether it was a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-1-2. He was able to be tactically flexible. And this Nigerian team just needs sustainability. They need an identity. They don't know what their identity is. They're lost this way, they're lost that way. Some players don't perform, and that's the biggest issue for Nigeria. They have the talent. Nobody is going to deny, with the likes of Adamola Lookman, to Osimhen, to Boniface, Ola Aina, to Calvin Bassey. And if you look at their World Cup qualifying group, they need all the help they can get because they are in the pits of hell when it comes to qualification. Now, of course, there's still 6 games to go, but they still got to go away to South Africa. Not going to be an easy game considering how good Bafana are at the moment. And I was sick and tired of Nigeria hiring these journeyman European coaches. Of course, Westerhoff, who led the team to the World Cup in 1994 and did an excellent job in their debut, getting to the round of 16, playing some of the best football Nigerians will ever see in their lifetime. But they've hired Europeans after Europeans like Gernot Rohr to Jose Peseiro, and they didn't work out. Yes, Gernot Rohr made it to the semi-final of an AFCON, got to the World Cup, but let's be honest, the football wasn't good. So why not go in a new direction? We know that the FA don't have a lot of money to hire a high-caliber manager like a Hervé Renard. That's when they were not able to get him. So why not go for an option that makes financially sense and also on the football field? And I think Eric Chelle ticks all the boxes. Now, of course, his job is going to be very difficult, people. The team is just deflated. They don't have an identity. They don't have any motivation. It seems like the Nigerians, the players at least, they go to the national team and they're like, oh, cool. It's just we're here to show up and see what happens. No, if you're going to play for the national team, you have to have some pride. He needs to bring the pride back and also be tactically ready with this team. At the AFCON last year, Nigeria, their identity was to be defensively solid and rely on the stars to get the goals. And of course, it worked out until they got to the final, and then we saw that the terroristic football wasn't going to work out because Ivory Coast, they have the weapons. And that's the thing. Nigeria, they got the weapons as well. They got the Osimhen. They got the... If you have the 2 past CAF players of the year on your national team, you're obliged to qualify for the World Cup. There is no excuses for this national team not qualifying to the World Cup and also performing at the AFCON. And everybody's just going to make fun of Eric Chelle and they're all just going to say, we hired this manager who was just a horrific meme at the AFCON. Like, come on. You're not going to just say that because of one meme of why do we hire this manager. Actually look at it objectively and think to yourself, this is the best we can do. He has experience in international football with Mali. He's familiar with the continent, because any European that goes to African football and looks out, man, we got to take a long journey to this country. We got to go to Rwanda. We got to go away to Zimbabwe. How are we going to deal with it? How are we going to deal with the circumstances? At least Eric Chelle understands that situation and also is good tactically. And of course, heading into the AFCON later this year, I expect Nigeria, with that talent, to at least make it to a quarterfinal, semi-final. Now, last time around, I wasn't so high on them because I thought they were a broken mess and I didn't have any faith in them, and they definitely surprised me. But of course, the players are playing at a very high level. Like, look at Adamola Lookman. The dude is just balling out every week with Atalanta. Osimhen is scoring ridiculous goals with Galatasaray. Calvin Bassey's having a great year with Fulham. So Ola Aina has Nottingham Forest in second place. And so the players are there. Now it's just about having a tactical identity and also showing some pride for the nation. And is Eric Chelle the right manager for the job? With the circumstances, I think, yeah. I think he will prove a lot of people wrong and saying to themselves, you're just that meme guy. Well, he's going to show, you might think I'm that meme guy. Soon I'm going to get you guys to the World Cup or maybe an AFCON title. Like, who knows what can happen here? And I hope it works out because they've just tried with these European... See, I can guarantee you this. If this fails for Nigeria, they'll go hire another European journeyman. They will. They will just go get some random German or random Dutch guy and say, here, manage the team. Like, no. Get a manager who has the experience in international football, has the tactical identity, and can get this team to unify and perform at the highest level possible, which Nigeria should be. And of course, does he have the pieces to play it like a 4-3-1-2 or 4-2-3-1? I think yes. Where do you play then Alamola Lookman? How can you fit both Boniface and Osimhen into the starting lineup? If you can have those two strikers playing together, it's a lethal duo. How can you fit all the attacking pieces together where you can maybe play Lookman in the 10 role, let him create there, maybe Boniface and Osimhen as the two strikers? There's many different ways to set up this team. Will he go with a 4-3-3? Who knows? But Eric Chelle, he's going into a very tough job at the moment, and there's going to be a lot of eyeballs as always when it comes to the Super Eagles. But I hope Eric Chelle is the right manager and help this national team that have just been such a laughing stock. Like, how are you losing away to Rwanda? How are you drawing at home to Lesotho last year, or was it 2023? How? Like, you have these players and you're going up against Lesotho. I get it, it's international football. But if Nigeria are drawing at home to Lesotho, red flags and don't go to the stadium. Don't go to the stadium. Now, maybe with this hiring, there can be a little bit more optimism and fans can start believing in the national team again. I think that connection between the fans and the national team is just broken. It really is broken. Yes, the AFCON, helped paper over the cracks a little bit, but we've seen with the World Cup qualifiers, disaster, and now let's see how this team will perform. Because the big thing for me is, I think it's just creating chances and goal scoring. That's been the issue for this national team. Not really defensively. Of course, you're conceding goals to Lesotho and Rwanda, but with the attacking firepower you have, you should be scoring more goals. And we saw with that Mali team that Eric Chelle was manager of, they had a talented team and they worked as a unit. So let's see what he can do with the Super Eagles. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, people. Do you think Eric Chelle is the right manager for the Super Eagles? Do you think he will help them and qualify to the World Cup and perform later in the AFCON this year? Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and remember to follow me on all the socials. You can find those links in the description down below. And thank you, everybody. We have reached now 20,000 subscribers, so soon is a giveaway. But have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time, adios.
Explain something.